The James and Greg Show.
Yeah, we were at the Concerned Black Men of Los Angeles.
From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 1975.
That's great. You're a big town.
Everyone will participate in. Not to announce our keynote speaker is a very good friend of ours, a long-standing, good-standing member of the Concerned Black Men of LA, and a very good friend, actually, of Byron Scott. So let me introduce Mr. Rodney Taylor. Come on down. Come on down.
All right, thank you, Mark. All right, you guys tell I'm nervous? No, I'm not nervous. I'm from Inglewood. I'm not nervous. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rodney Taylor, like Mark said, and I've been a member of Concerned Black Men of Los Angeles since 2015, and I am very excited to be here tonight and to have the opportunity to introduce our keynote speaker, which happens to be a friend of mine, Byron Scott. And it's funny because of all of the qualified speakers that could speak on our topic tonight, building champions through encouragement and support. Byron struck me as being the most relatable and practical and having the most positive approach. So that made it easy for me to get excited about asking him to speak tonight. As a high school and collegiate athlete, on to becoming an NBA champion and head coach, I was so inspired by my friend. But his dedication, his hard work, his commitment. Yeah, give it up, give it up. Because what you guys don't know is I experienced that firsthand as a kid. Byron was the type of guy that would encourage us because we were a little younger than him, and he would encourage us as we played sports to be our best. And it made it real easy for me to ask him to be our keynote speaker tonight. So anyway, so what is Byron's super powerful approach to building champions? Well, let me invite him up to the podium and he can tell you himself. Welcome, Byron Scott.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? I do need a taller mic. You guys call him Rodney. We called him Tubby back in the day. And to this day, I still refer to him as Tubby. Every time he calls me, it's Tubster, Tubby, you know, and it's going to always be that way. But CBM LA, you guys are fantastic. I forgot to, I know you started this with Jeff. Jason? Yeah. Jason, congratulations and kudos to you for something that you started 15, 16 years ago to see what it has turned into. It's an unbelievable thing. Thank you, first of all, for understanding how powerful it is to have mentors in your life, especially young Black African kids. We all don't have that all the time. And growing up, to be able to have the vision to see this thing through almost 20 years ago is an unbelievable achievement. So thank you so much. Appreciate that. second thing is, I heard you are a golfer, so I am challenging you right now. And so am I. I don't do nothing half speed, you know what I'm saying? I'm going at it full force. So I'm gonna talk to Tubby, we're gonna get out and play around in golf, and we'll see what you really got. You know, you never can be successful unless you have people behind you that have pushed you to get there. And every person in this room who has been successful has also fallen on their face once or twice in their lives and been able to get back up. One of the reasons that I think I was successful, I wouldn't just say in basketball, but in life in general, is because I had great people around me. You know, number one, you gotta have great family members. You know, my mom and dad were unbelievable as far as showing me what hard work and dedication was all about. Not expecting anybody to give you anything. You have to earn everything that you get in life. And when you think of it that way, you seem to work a little bit harder. Having great friendships, I think, is a key as well. And I had two. I had a bunch really, but two of them are here tonight. Tubby being one, who we spent many hours playing electric football and basketball and baseball in the backyard and getting to know each other and just having an unbelievable friendship for 40 plus years. The other one is my boy Philip Shores. Philip, stand up back there. You gotta forgive Philip, because Tubby didn't tell Philip that it was a black tie type thing. Put on a shirt and tie or something, you know, Tubby, that's how we do sometimes in Inglewood. We forget like that. But having friends like these guys helped mold me into the person that I am today. The one thing my mom always told me as well was, don't ever think that you're better than anybody. You know, you treat everybody the way you want to be treated. I know how deep our friendship goes because we had an incident one time, and Tubby, you wasn't there because you were too young, so we always kept Tubby out of certain things. But we ran up against some guys, and in Inglewood, we had our own gang. We wasn't the Crips or the Bloods, and nothing like that, but we hung out together. We made sure that we had each other's back. So everywhere we went 6, 7, 8 deep. And one time we got into an altercation with this group of guys, and Philip and one of my other boys, Derek McGee, grabbed me and said, you gotta go home. And I said, what you talking about, man? You know, if these guys are about to get busy with us, we gotta do this all together. They said, no, you're gonna be the one making it. You're gonna make it out of here. You're gonna make it for all of us, so you gotta get out of here. Now, as reluctant as I was to leave, they wouldn't let me step with these guys. They made me leave. That is true friendship. That is people who really have your back and have your best interests at heart. All you young men here today, hopefully you have dreams just like we all had as well. But the one thing that CBMLA is doing is that they're preaching education to you guys in a huge way. Because I'll tell you the truth, with me, and Philip and Tubby knows this, I came on the stairs of my house one time and I had my first trophy. And my mom and dad were coming out the door, they were going to a movie, and my mom, being a mom, she was like, oh, that's my baby, he got a trophy. She was just a clap, and I was like, yeah, it's my first trophy. It was no bigger than this. And she said, so what you gonna put that trophy? I'm gonna put that trophy right on our man. I said, yeah, thank you, Mom. My dad looked at me and said, so what you gonna be in life, boy? I said, Dad, I'm gonna be a professional basketball player. And of course, my mama did it again. That's my baby. And my dad said, okay, boy, what if you don't make it? What you gonna be then? So I'm gonna be a professional baseball player. That's what I told him. My dad said, okay, well, whatever you do, you better get an education. You better get an education. And it took me a while to really understand how important that was. We all have dreams and aspirations in here. Sometimes plan A doesn't go as you plan. Sometimes you gotta go to plan B. Luckily, I never had to go to plan B. Because if I did, I didn't know I don't know where I would be. But I know I would be successful because I had these two brothers looking out for me. I had a mom and dad who looked out for me. And I had a community in Inglewood. I had about 8 moms. I had Mama Smith. I had Mama Taylor. I had Mama Shores. I had Mama Malone. So if you did something wrong in any of those houses, they called Mama Scott and say, I'm gonna whoop his butt. Is that okay? She said, yeah, go ahead. All those people in that community helped raise us. And 46 years later, we still can call each other at any given time and ask whatever it may be, for family, for friends, or whatever the case may be, to help us out. That's what raising, we always talk about, it takes a village, but it also has to start at home. It has to start at home first. That's the most important part. We have to teach our young people values now. We have to teach our young people dedication. We have to teach our young people what hard work is all about. Because they look at us and they say, it must, hey, my dad and mom made it easy. We all know in this room it wasn't easy. You had to do some things that you probably wish you didn't have to do. You had to, put in some hours that you probably didn't wish you had to put in, but you had to put in the work to get to where you are today. I know my oldest son, one day he was asking me about buying him this video game when we were in the store, and I posed this question to him. I said, do you want it or do you need it? My dad used to always do that to me. You don't need that. So he said, well, I wanted that. I said, well, what are you willing to do to earn it? How much work are you willing to put in to earn it? And a lot of our young people today in this society, they don't really understand what that means. To put in the effort. To be the very best that you can be in whatever field it might be that you chose to do. I just chose athletics. But the world has opened up for our young people now. You have so many avenues that you can take to be successful. So you have so many doors that are open to you to be successful. You just got to be willing to do the work. And listen, I've coached in the NBA for a number of years, and I've seen the generation of young people that come up with their hands out like cups. Looking at you like, what can you do for me? Instead of, what can I do for you? And me, it was very simple when I was coaching, because everything that I told our players to do, I've done. Sometimes they would look at me crazy. I said, listen, son, I did this way back in the day, and I got 3 championships for it. What have you done? It's that simple. What have you done? I don't have to prove anything to you. You got to prove something to me. There's a lot of people in here who are called OGs. I know. Raise your hand. You know what the OG is. You got a lot of Inglewood in LA, South Central. I know you know what OGs are in here. Original gangsters, or you want to call it whatever. OG to me is a person who's willing to lend his knowledge to a youth, to a younger person, to a person who's coming up, to a young adult. You're willing to give him information to be successful. That's an OG. An old man is one of them dudes that's just bitter or don't give a damn. That's an old man. I'm an OG. I want all my young people to be successful, but I also want them to understand that there are pitfalls in this world. Everybody don't want you to do well. Everybody ain't your friend. You gotta understand that as well. Okay? There's gonna be a lot of people and a lot of things that's in your way. And there's gonna come a point in time in your life where you're gonna have to choose which side of the road you're gonna go on. Hopefully you make the right choices. But when I'm interviewing people for anything that I'm doing, basketball, business, anything, a person that tells me they never had, or they've never failed, they've never been down and out, that person I'm not hiring. I want you to have some trials and tribulations that makes you who you are. And you young people are going to go through it. Sooner or later you're going to get it. You're going to rise to the occasion. You're going to be successful. That's what CBM is here for, to make sure that you guys have a chance to be successful. And that's what it's all about. I am so happy. Thank you. I am so happy and proud to be a product of Inglewood, California. Growing up in Inglewood, being raised in Inglewood, and still able to go back to my elementary school, my junior high, my high school. Matter of fact, at the Newport Beach Jazz Fest this summer, I saw one of my teachers, Mr. Lewis. Remember Mr. Lewis, Fillmore? Remember Mr. Lewis? Mr. Lewis was our math teacher, and I'm still pissed at him because he gave me a B. He said, well, you entered my class late. That's what you got. I said, no, but I had A's on everything. Listen, I love math. I love math. So one thing I would tell Philip and them, I said, when I make it, I'm gonna have to be really good at math because I'm gonna have to be able to count this money. That's what I would always tell them. But the one thing also that I want you young people to understand is that should, and it wasn't for me. I'm joking at some point in time, but money cannot be your motivating factor. If that's the thing that you're motivated by is money and greed, it ain't gonna happen. You gotta love what you do. You gotta have a passion for what you do. To this day, I have a passion for basketball. I wish I was 20 years younger, where I could still play. Now I can just get on the court and shoot. I can still outshoot a whole lot of people, especially in the NBA. I'm just saying, stats don't lie. My three-point percentage was about damn near 40%. These guys are getting $20 million a year for shooting 33%. I don't understand. But it's okay. I'm not bitter. I'm good. I had my time. Had my fun. But if money is your main reason, you're not going to be successful. That cannot be your motivating factor. Find what you love, find what you have a passion for, and go at it 110%. Everything else will come. And it will come in bunches, believe me. When I made it to the NBA, I said, I just want to play 10 years, I'll be happy. I played 14 years. When I got out of the NBA, I said, I want to be a coach. I coached for 17 years. And during that time of coaching, I started thinking, okay, what do I want to do after coaching? I want to be a businessman. I want to get into business. I want to find something I have a love for, a passion for in business. I got a partner right now that, we're doing all kinds of stuff, just having a great time, just enjoying life. I said, you know what, I want to create another league. And you guys are going to hear about this, so first of all, I'm going to make sure everybody signs one of these pieces of paper. A disclaimer that if you leave this room, it does not leave with you. And we're starting a league called Primetime Basketball. And mark my word, 3 or 4 years you're going to hear about this league. And the reason I wanted to start this league is because there are so many players in the NBA that finish the NBA, 3 or 4 years later they're broke. 87% of the league is broke when they leave in 3 or 4 years. Probably 80-90% of those guys are African American. So this league that we're starting is based on having a mentorship program for guys. So when they're finished with basketball, they can have life after basketball. And it's something that I have a deep passion for because I've seen a lot of these guys that have gone broke firsthand. So again, all the young people in this room, all the mentors in this room, we all know that money cannot be the reason that you're going after what you're going after. It has to be the passion and love for it. And if you stick to those things, I guarantee you, if you have great friends, great mentors, you have a passion for what you're trying to do in life, and you also have the education, have something to fall back on. Don't always stick all your eggs in one basket. Put them in 2 or 3 different baskets. Have 2 or 3 other interests that you might want to achieve while you're going through what you're going through. I guarantee you'll be successful. You'll be up here talking to my grandkids, hopefully, telling them the same thing. So again, I want to thank CBM LA for inviting me, especially my boy Tubby. Thank you, my brother, I love you. And my boy Phil Shores from Gillsmore. We got all these nicknames. So Phil Shores from Gillsmore. That's my ride and die boy right there. My ride and die boy right there. I want to thank you guys again for allowing me to come up and just share a little bit about my journey from Inglewood to here. Things I've done, things I've been doing, things I'm doing. And again, you know, Tubby, anytime. You know, anytime. Love to talk to the young fellas about what this is all about, and the women as well. You know, but God bless you guys. I really appreciate you guys allowing me to talk to you. Thank you so much. That's all for me. You know what he's doing, right?
Wow, that was something. Okay. Mr. Scott, we thank you so much for sharing. We thank you so much for caring and giving back to our community, our youth. It means a lot for us. Tubby, thank you for having him come. Every one of our keynote speakers, we give them a gift, you know, to remember us by. So, Tubby, I'm going to have you present Mr. Scott with our keynote speaker award. And we hope that you will remember us, and thank you again for coming. Thank you.
August 24th of August, so 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Until my wife get pissed off and pull the cord. After that. And won't be no more back there ever again in life. So what I want to do, I want to go to one, so somebody else give one so I can go to it. How about James? James gonna give one? Hey, we can do that, James. Shoot. Well, we going to Beverly Hills, James? Because we'll be there. I'll bring the boys on up. I'll bring the boy right on up to Rodeo Road. So we gonna see you. The next one gonna be at your house. We do all the cooking there, James. We got you.
Bye-bye.